Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. I'm going for a head shave now. I'm going to be using a soap which I absolutely love the scent of, but I also love the performance. The performance for me is as good as anything on the market. Holy Call, Barrister and Man, Wickham, Phoenix and Bowl, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, you name it, and this stuff is up there. It's really impressed me, and even more so, their actual labels. These, in my opinion, are up there with some of the best as well. This is so vibrant. And the reason I'm going with the brush that I'm using, which I'm using my tie-dye West Coast Shavings, it just matches the label and just the brightness and vibrant colours on this one. And the scent on this, according to this, is lavender, Asian pear and cedar. And I get lavender, I can smell the pear. The pear to me is the most prominent of the three. It smells really nice. It smells like almost like, I don't know if you've had a nashi pear, you know what a nashi pear is. I believe a nashi pear is a cross between a pear and an apple. It smells like that to me, really, that crisp, crunchy, juicy pear. I know it's Asian pear, but that's what it smells like to me. The cedar, I think the cedar's probably a little bit lost. I'm sure it is in there, but I just get the pear and the lavender smell beautiful. And it's a scent which I didn't think I would really like, if I'm honest, but I love fruit scents, and this smells incredible. Right, the brush is the West Coast Shaving tie-dye 24mm densely packed silver tip, and it is just a phenomenal little brush. It really is. The tips on that are starting to really gel. I'm sorry about the camera. I'm not taking a ribbon off you, Spence, over this shitty camera. I have to use the FaceTime camera on this phone because the risk of me screwing it up when I use the rear one, because I can't really see it, I don't know what's going on, is quite high. So I would rather just have 1080p HD without autofocus. I'm sure the new iPhones actually do autofocus on the front, so I would be able to focus this, but as you can see, it just sort of leaves everything sort of blurry. You can't really get that definition. Anyway, straight into the soap. I'll be here all night because my head shaves take ages. So now it is a deceiving tub. How much is in this? So it's a 4-ounce soap, so it's not the biggest of soaps in terms of how much you get for your bang for your buck, and it's well priced, but it's not as well priced as some for the amount of soap that you get. But the performance and the scents are incredible. Now, for you guys over in the States and all around the world, I suppose, Flora Colossus, which is the scent on this one, or the name of this one, will be getting released on Friday the 24th of November, which is Black Friday. It will be a 1-day limited release, and that'll be at boom boom boom. So if you want to get your hands on this stuff, because I don't think they'll be releasing it again until next year, then Black Friday is your best bet. I'm really going to load up nice and heavy here so I can get plenty onto my head. Now, this is a head shave, by the way, I don't know if I said that at the start. I got a bit excited. It was one of those, opened up the drawers in the den and thought, what am I going to use today? I really don't know. And then I just seen the label and I thought, oh, I'm having you, that's it. Thank you very much for the Cadbury's Roses. I noticed today as well, I've just hit 1,202 subscribers. I honestly can't believe it. I know I put a lot of hours into this, a lot of time, and as much as my editing isn't as good as, say, Ken Surfs and a few of the other guys out there, I do my best with it. But I'm a sort of average Joe sort of editor. I've just wet my face. What the fuck have I wet my face for? I've just took all my Parasso off, which feels incredible, by the way. That Parasso leaves your skin feeling great. What a tit. Right, let's wet the head. I sort of wet my face and I went, that must have been some shave I had yesterday. Fuck all this. No, I'm not that lucky. Right, there's the load on there. Look at that. God, it's good enough to eat. Just paint a little bit on there. Now, I find this soap very, very easy to lather. It makes an incredibly slick, luxurious, creamy lather every time. I have not had a problem with this soap yet. Well, not yet. I don't think I ever will have a problem with it. Kevy's shave has recently used, I think it was the barbershop scent, I think. And he was of the same ilk as me. He just loved it. It's slick, it's protective, it's easy to lather, easy to load. The scents are great. I don't know what other scents Kevy's got, if he's got any other ones. In fact, do you know what it was? It was one that he won. Was it Caballero? I think it's coffee and, is it coffee and leather? Oh, God, I can't remember now. My memory's not the best. But I know he used it. I watched the video, which I've not been able to do recently for everyone really. I've been so far behind the 8 ball. Work's been so busy, which is good. I can't knock it. But the problem is it's exhausting, because I've had such a bad winter where there's been hardly any work happening. So I've applied for the transit guards, and then I get to October wasn't great, but November, and it's now it's the 14th of November, and we are booked up till Christmas. We're actually booked up till January. We've got a waiting list now of people waiting for people to cancel and things like that. It is just insane. And it happens quite a lot this time of year. I just wish we had this weather all year round. If we did, I'd be a pretty wealthy man. Look at this ladder. Holy fucking shit. You're gonna have to excuse the language. I'm feeling pretty good today. Look at that. Hang on a minute, let me see if I can get this autofocus. I think that's a bit dark, but I'm going to lock it at that. It's a bit dark, but you can see the gloss and you can see the lather better, so I'm going to keep it at that. The brush is kite. I'm excited about this, I tell you what. Razor, Rockwell 6C. I've got no blade in it as yet. I'm going with the 4 plate again, which I used the last time, and it was an exceptional shave. So smooth. And I'm going to use the blade I used earlier on for my face shave, which is the Persona. It says Super on the packet. I'm trying not to slice my fingers off. It says Super on the packet, but these are the Persona Med Preps. As you can see on, well, you probably can't see because it doesn't focus, for hospital use only. So, right, let's just hope this slots in. See, I find with this razor, and my eyesight's shit, it needs quite a lot. There's quite a lot of movement in the blade, and I'm a bit surprised by that. I thought this would be spot on. Right, excuse me, I'm just going to go straight against the grain with this and just see what happens and play it by you. I know this soap is easily one of the slickest I've ever used. Look at that lather. Absolutely beautiful. I've got 3 days growth, I think. Do you know something? I can't even remember the blade I used my last shave. I remember it being a lovely comfortable shave. I'm still a little bit blocked up as well, guys. I am going to go with the grain just on the sides here. It does on the sides for some reason, and just above my ear, become a little bit uncomfortable if I go directly against the grain, but that's just me. That won't be for everyone. God, I can feel how much more efficient this plate is on 4 compared to my MJ90, which I use in my face shave. It's actually taking my sideburns in even closer. I only shaved a few hours ago. But the Med Prep blade was absolutely spot on with the MJ90. It paired up beautifully with it. It's a lovely scent as well. It's not a strong scent, it's around about a 5, but it's quite complex. You smell it and then it goes away and then you smell something else from it. You don't just get the same scent all the time. It is a... do you know something? I said I couldn't smell the cedar. I was just literally going to say it's like a sweet, fruity, woodsy scent, and that is literally what I get from it. So that must be the cedar. It can't be anything else. I need to learn to pull my brow down. I'm one of them sort of always look surprised sort of guys. That's why I've got all these wrinkles. Everything looks surprising to me. That's going to bug me, that. I can't remember what blade I used in that last shave. I'm sort of at that stage now where I'm contemplating doing a sort of spreadsheet where I've got all the razor and blade combos on it. There's one side of this blade feels a bit blunt. It's still smooth, it just doesn't feel quite as smooth as the other side. Well, there ain't a whole heap left on there, I can tell you that right now. Just going to head to the sink out because it's chockers full of hair. But yeah, I've got a few things happening at the moment. I won the Envy Shave Pasteurs 2017 brush in the 7 Sins of Wet Shaving giveaway. I've got a couple of brushes sent to Reyes Restores to have them re-knotted. I have got a razor with Razor Emporium at the moment being revamped. So I've got a few things going on, but it's nothing major. Now see, right now, I've got enough slickness on my head right now to actually shave my head. To actually go against the grain. I can put, even on your hands. It's hard to try and get off, it's so slick. It's excellent soap. Do you know something, I forgot to scrape the excess off the top of the tub. Let's grab that now. You can never have too much. Getting it off your hands is a real task. It's almost held on there like silicone. And this little brush just seems to get better and better with every shave, or every use, should I say. Just dip my tips because it's dried up a little bit. It's certainly something you need to work on a lot more when you go to natural hairs. If you start with natural hairs, the water content is absolutely key to a good lather. You can't put too much on it, you just kill the lather, and you can't not put enough in, otherwise you end up with a really dry lather like what I'm getting now. And it's all about look and feel, and you do get better with it. You do start to get to a point where you get comfortable with these natural hair brushes, and I'm pretty much there at the moment, I have to say. It's taken me a while. But there's no way 3 months ago, or however long ago it was when I started back on the natural brush trail, that I was getting a lather like that from it. No way. And overloading the brush is a massive, massive thing. Do not scrimp and save on your soap and your cream when you're using natural hair brushes. Just go for it and enjoy it. You might die tomorrow. That's a very morbid way of looking at it, but you just don't know. Have the best shave of your life today, because you might not be able to have one tomorrow. If you guys watched Spencer's latest shave, where he used that, it wasn't a Matador brush. That's terrible, I can't remember the name of it now. I remember the guy's name's Chris, that makes the brushes, because it's the best name in the world. But Spencer's got some old brush over there at the moment, my Boja. Not Bodja. I don't know why people keep saying Bodja. Boja, like a bow and arrow, but B-O-A. I just crossed boar and badger, so that's how clever I am. Fucking full of shit. What? This soap has looked ridiculously slick. Right, now I'm actually going to stick to one side of this razor at the moment, because that other side just doesn't feel right. This blade will be going in the bin afterwards. The good thing is I've got one good side of it, and as long as it gets me through my head shape, I'll be tickety-boo. I don't think you'll be able to hear the TV that's on at the background, but I'm listening to Crocodile Dundee 2. Which I haven't watched for a very long time. It's one reason that as much as it's not great for the film industry, it's one reason why I use Cody in Terrarium, because you can't get that sort of it's difficult to come across those movies now, and unfortunately DVDs and Blu-rays, etc. are just becoming a thing of the past. It's just something that people don't have anymore, including myself. Oh yes. Well, there's no doubt about it, this is going to be an amazing shave. If I can get through this cut free, which I'm pretty certain I will. I'm just going to lather up again, mainly just to aid in this breaking into this brush. I know badges don't essentially really break in, they're ready to go out of the box in essence, but they do soften up over time. The ends do split a bit, as they are on this one. I'm just going to do my tips again because it looks like it can take it quite comfortably. I also managed to catch Shaving with Rube, old Kenny boy. I managed to catch his, that's the first time I've actually watched one of his head shaves. It's funny actually, he came on the game just as Brown Man Shaves was leaving. Well, when Kyle was leaving a car, or whatever you want to call him, or whatever Spencer wants to call him. He seems to be the one that can't get anyone's names right, just calls anyone whatever name they want. I don't know if you noticed in one of Andy's recent videos, it was the one where he did the remembrance shave. He's now called Anthony. I don't know where the fuck that came from. Great shave, Anthony. Lovely tribute. Hey Anthony, fucking awesome. Who the fuck is Anthony? And then he tells me it's autocorrect, and then automatically I think it's a shitty fucking Android phone, that's what it is. It's nothing to do with autocorrect. It's because you're using an Android piece of shit. I'll tell you what, I'm full of beans tonight. Something about a great shave with a great scent, with a great brush, with a great razor that keeps you going. Right, let's just do a bit of a dink dank do. Yeah, I don't think this blade works that well in the Rockwell. I think that's what it is. It's just not. Don't get me wrong, it still feels lovely. Still super smooth. I just don't feel like I'm getting the shave I got last time from it, even though I'm using the exact same plate. And I'm still using a razor blade, which I really enjoy using. I mean, it almost feels, sounds crazy, but it feels used. It feels like it's a used blade. And now it could be that the quality control for these blades isn't quite up to scratch with the Lab Blues. But as far as I'm led to believe, these are pretty much Persona Lab Blues, just uncoated. I think the Lab Blues have got a coating on them, I'm not sure what kind of coating. Yeah, I mean I've got a nice shave, but I'm not as close as my last shave. And I don't want to overdo it. I really don't. It still feels great. But I will lather up again. What am I on? 25 minutes and I stuff it. You can just fast forward to the end. I've got loads of lather left in this brush as well. I might as well get some use out of it. I'm almost tempted to grab another blade out just to finish off and just see if it feels any different. It's not that this blade feels shit, it feels lovely, it's just not giving me the same shave that I got last time. Do you know something? I think it might have been a Treat Platinum that I used. That seems to ring a bell. Right. I mean, I'm still actually feeling hair here. This might just not be a great blade for this razor. I'm going to take this blade out. I'll be back in a second. Alright, and we're back. I know that was an instant and we're back. Treat platinum. Stuff it, just stick it in there. I just want to see if it feels any different. I know I've pretty much shaved everything off now. But the slickness is great. I've recently found out as well, when I used to work as a police officer at my local police station, there was a sergeant on one of the opposite shifts to me. It's just recently, I'm talking a sergeant here, he's a career cop, wanted to be a cop for his whole life, just been charged with child sex offences. I just can't fucking believe it. Sent a picture of his penis to I think 11-year-old boy through Facebook. Just fucking unbelievable. A man that a man that's supposed to be protecting you and your kids and looking after you. You know, and they wonder why people don't trust coppers. You know, that's just absolutely blows my mind. Someone that you're supposed to be able to phone up and actually get help from. I mean, what goes through my mind is he's got his own kids, and it just doesn't bear thinking about. You know, has he done it with his own kids? That's what goes through my head, unfortunately. Just can't believe it. So, personally, I hope they throw the book at him, and I hope he does plenty of time. Obviously, if found guilty and there was actually a charge to be heard, it's all subject to that. It just doesn't bear thinking about. You sort of hope, if he is found guilty and goes to prison, that he gets put in a cell with someone he sent there himself. It's just disgusting. What makes it worse is not going to be my kid. I mean, Mitchell, my middle son, is only 9. I mean, at the end of the day, what the hell's an 11-year-old boy doing with Facebook? For a start, that's one thing that gets me. I mean, Facebook's a pain in the arse for me. I'm never off the bloody thing. It's a nightmare. It takes over your life. It really does. It's a very addictive thing. I mean, I do put my phone down every now and then, but you have to You have to make time for your family and stuff round about it, you know. I get it off my wife all the time. You're still on that fucking phone? Yeah, I'm sorry. Until someone points it out, I don't really realise. It's just fucking unbelievable. A man that I worked alongside. Don't get me wrong, I never liked the guy. I always thought he was a wanker. He's one of them fucking know-it-all wankers. Got the job because he fucking passed a test in fucking university. Didn't get it because he was a fucking great person or a good fucking leader or role model. That's the problem with the police. That's one of the reasons why I ended up pulling the pin. Because of the way things are done. You don't want to be turning up to work for the fucking man that's a wanker. You want to work for someone that's been there and done it and wants to look after you, because at the end of the day, to the corporation that is the police, you're just a number. You're an absolute nobody. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the darkest video I've done. I suppose dark sort of goes with the tone of what I've just been talking about. I don't know what's going on here. I'm finding it really hard to get these last little bits. And I think that is me done. Very long video today, guys, I do apologise. Actually no, I don't apologise, I really enjoyed it. I'm sure you enjoyed my shitty stories as well, and I'm sure you're all sitting there saying, that fucking cunt of a copper, what the fuck, who the fuck does he think he is? Wanker. Shit hot shave, I tell you what. Just rinsing this brush out, then I'll pop the balm on, and I'll rinse the soap out, I'll go through what I used, probably talk another bit of shit in between, and then 45 minutes later, turn the video off. Right, all I'm using is the Flora Colossus balm, which Lather Bros balms are just phenomenal. Amazing kick of menthol. The scent, it just smells exactly like the soap, but it's stronger. Oh yes. Absolutely divine. Oh, and that menthol was just a whew. It's easily one of my favourite balms. It's probably on a par with the Wickham balm. The thing that I probably prefer more on this is the menthol. My head is lovely and cool now, even my face and everything's beautiful and cool. Yeah, let's just rinse this soap out. This has been a hell of a fucking session of chatter. So I've been trying to explain to my daughter about when I have a conversation with her, she'll say, like all the time, and there's filler words everywhere. So I'm trying to get her out of that and trying to teach her to speak freely and make sure that your mind's working fast enough that you can keep up with the words. And she's getting better. Anyway, soap, Flora Colossus, Asian pear, lavender and cedar. It's absolutely phenomenal. Look at me, I'm glowing, I'm like an angel. Amazing shave. The brush, tie-dye, 24mm silver tip from West Coast Shaving. You can't see the label, but it is inscribed in here. It's engraved in and it's really well done. It's really tiny. Just a beautiful little brush. It really pops. Oh, it smells incredible now. Razor, Rockwell 6C. Started off with the Persona Med Prep, which is that one, and I finished off with a Treat Platinum. And to be honest, I was a bit miffed at the end. I don't know what was going on. I was really struggling to get those last few hairs, so I don't know, might just have been a bit of an off day with the angle of the razor. Beautiful smooth razor though, and at the end of the day I've got a BBS shave out of it. Beautiful. Finished off with nothing other than Flora Colossus Balm, which is mentholated. These are made out of Miami lakes in Florida, Lather Bros. Amazing customer service, lovely people, and amazing products, really are. And other than that, I am done and dusted. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.